Evening rise, spirit comes, sun goes down when the summer's done, frozen earth awakens her rime-hearted Mother Earth.
Okay, welcome everyone. I finally got my shit together with the PC. And we are right into the thick of it. I can see on screen this frost giant druid who's walked around the corner. Oh yeah, we probably should dial it back a bit to give a bit of an overview. Chris, could you do the honours today? We'll try this out and see how we go so that I'm not talking quite so much. Do you want to take it away with a bit of a summary of last week?
Sure, I'll wait till the song's finished. Alright, so last week's exciting episode, we left a wizard in the ice, taking her spellbook and her familiar, who had become attracted to Threads. Threads was acting strangely, but we made it up the huge flight of stairs into Aurils castle. We're greeted by a somewhat elderly frost giant who seemed to think nothing but of simply attacking us. So we fought him and killed him without really knowing what his deal was. He seemed to be happy without dying, which, seems strange, but hey, we're in a goddess tower, so. Shortly after that, we set up camp in the middle of the first floor, which seemed largely deserted. Maltower went down to scout. The lower floors probably got attacked by undead frost giants, and only barely escaped with his life after Ash brought him back from the dead. Shortly after that, we decided not to go down, but then to go up, hoping that we'd find Aurils' lair and her book. With Sharpie doing a miserable job of scouting, stepping on every icicle he could find.
He found all the traps.
Correct. And somehow managing to not see any of the monsters that were actually in there. And while the rest of the party came up to deal with the piercers, suddenly out of nowhere, blinding flash of light, and then darkness.
That's right. So, from your perspective, you've just seen this pocket of sun open up in the middle of the room, and you are now unconscious on the ground, going by your big fat red X over your icon there. I think it's worthwhile. So we know that Sharpie is unconscious due to radiation burns from this solar flare. It might be worthwhile, just because we're in initiative right now, to step through everyone else's state. Cletus, how are you looking at the moment?
He's barely hanging on, but he's still there.
Okay. So just badly injured. And how about, what sort of proportion of your spells are remaining?
He has one spell left.
Oh.
He lost concentration on his sickening radius. He only had 2 to start off with.
Okay.
And now he only has 1.
Right. Otherwise you're in Eldritch Blast territory.
Yes.
Jackus, how about you? Well, you'll have to lean into that mic. Can't hear you.
Still has the most focus. If not, I'm still at HP.
Oh, yeah.
Still barely here.
Yeah.
Oh, really? What about?
I got temporary HP and still okay from that.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better.
Okay, so I have almost half. I'm still almost at half thanks to the temporary HP from Ash.
Okay.
Yeah, still have enough spell slots for smiting.
Okay. How about you, Threads? I see a big purple one on you. That's what's it called? Exposure, exhaustion.
Yeah, Threads is still exhausted from the chilling, cold ocean that we were swimming in our effort to stay hidden from Auril while we waited for her to leave her island. So I'm exhausted from that. Threads has recently gained some spells, some magic abilities, and she has basically all of her spell slots left, and is on about half health because of the wonderful temp HP that Ash gave her too.
Okay. And while we're on Ash, how are you travelling?
Oh, Ash rounded the corner and saw the giantess, and 6 seconds later, blasted by the solar light that has her reeling. She is clinging on. She was flat-footed, got caught, flat-footed in the blast, so she took a lot of damage from it. So she's barely hanging on, but she has about half or more than half of her spells remaining. So there's still hope.
Okay. So badly damaged, but still with a bit of offense left. Okay. And Mortel.
Mortel's health is relatively good.
Love and life.
Taking only 1/5 of his health, that's relative to only 1/5 of his total health.
Okay.
And plenty of fight left in it.
All right. I'm opening up the initiative tracker. So Velin, by the way, was down the stairs. She didn't get caught in that flare. She was last on the initiative order. Now you haven't seen it. I'm just going to throw that person in. Okay. Alright, so you can see one Galuvican in the initiative tracker. And what happens this... So we're straight up to we're actually right towards the bottom. Galuvican has just gone, stepped around the corner, done the solar flare, and stepped back around the corner. Velin comes rushing up the stairs and stops just at the base of the staircase. And I'll have a quick gander here. She hauls Sharpie just back down the stairs. Those stairs are not, they're marked like regular stairs, but remember they're 5 foot or 4 or 5 foot tall. So she drags him off one step and then one more step so that you've got full cover, but you could be seen from the top of the staircase. So Cletus, you can still see that Velin and Sharpie are just 2 steps down. And she casts waves her hands around and casts some sort of spell, but Cletus, you don't detect what the effect of that spell is. Sharpie, I think this would be the point for you to tell us what you're going to miss most in life, should you pass on.
Sorry.
He's on death settings. That 47 didn't take double your hit points, did it?
No.
So
No, if I'd been a bit more injured, it would have, but...
Yeah. Oh, it's double your maximum, not what your current hit points are. It's hard to one-shot a 5th level character even. They start to get beyond it. But yeah, what's passing through your mind as you drift into unconsciousness?
Mostly still embarrassment over having made so much noise.
Yes. Okay, a bit of regrets. Oh my god. Okay. And I'll get you to do a death saving throw. High is good.
I'm going to use Constitution, so I've got the right modifier.
Yeah. Oh, 10 I think 10 is a
Is that just
pass.
a normal roll? I thought it was just a normal straight roll for death saves.
Yes,
It's
I've
just a
got a
D.
+1 to it for the cloak, which means I'm just using the con save as a closest.
Oh, do you have a +1 for your death saves too?
Sorry.
That's cool.
Yes, Stone of Good Luck gives it to all saving throws, which includes death saving throws.
Nice.
It's the death saving throws, not the death saving throws.
Okay.
That 10 is a pass.
Yep. So you step away from the light. Ash Louise.
Ash Louise will channel divinity, pray to Selune Lathander, and give off a 30-foot aura of silver and gold sparks.
Okay. So can you check for me the effect of that on people who are either you can't see or people, or paste it into the chat, it's probably easier. People who are on 0 hit points.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because it hands out temporary hit points, so I imagine it would work as another temporary hit points.
Yep.
So there you go.
And that will trigger in any case on their turn, I believe. As an action, you present your symbol. Whenever a creature ends its turn in the sphere, you can grant the creature one of these benefits, granting it 1d6 plus 7 temporary hit points when you or ending one effect on it.
Mm-hmm. Is Sharpie still within 30 feet of me? Or?
You can't see to know whether he is or not.
Well, if he was taking down the staircase, I would proceed to go closer to the staircase until I see him.
Yeah, okay. In that case, move yourself 4 squares across. If you use the arrow keys, it's a lot easier because then you can go. It'll actually moves your icon 1 step at a time, and you can just count them out. Less having to measure, find the square, and move to it. Okay, so you channel divinity, Twilight Sanctuary. You can see Sharpie's definitely in the bathing light from you now. Bonus action.
As a bonus action, mass healing word, everybody.
Holy moly. So what's that going to do? Do you roll hit points for each person?
I think just roll it once. This is 1d4 plus 3, everybody.
Okay.
So it's up to 6 creatures, so it's basically everyone. So everyone gets 7.
One person's going to miss out because if you because Velen's with you as well, there's 7 of you in total.
Oh yeah, I don't include Belen, because she wasn't caught.
Yep. Okay. So everyone gets 7 health. That will bring Sharpie back to consciousness.
And then as I end my turn in my own aura, I'll roll to give myself some 10 HP. And I get 10.
Okay. In which case we move to threads.
Threads can't actually see where the enemy is, so she's going to try to move in.
Okay.
She's just right around the corner.
Yeah, I can definitely see her now.
Yeah. Okay. So you go up to the corner, peek around, and you can see this spellcaster.
And I cast... Acid Arrow.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Melf's Acid Arrow.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a miss. 11 went to hit.
11 is a miss. Yeah. So it the giant dodges to one side and a bit splashes off the armor, but otherwise it's a miss.
Okay.
Any bonus action?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Cletus Maximus.
Yes, little bit worried. We'll just come up this way.
Okay.
A little bit away from the stairs, and he's gonna hold an eldritch blast in case he sees an enemy in his view.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if an enemy comes within range, you'll blast off your Eldritch blasts.
Yeah. Just gonna see it at the moment.
Okay, all right. And you've just swung around a little. I just wanted to check, can you guys hear music?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Epic.
Yeah, all right. If it's, yeah, okay, I've got it. I can't hear it. So, you know, some of this audio thing that I've had this morning, today's mixed up what things are coming through to me. So I'll have to muck around with it till I get it going. But if you can hear it, then that's fine. I'm going to assume that it's recording. And maybe when we stop for coffee, I'll just listen to the recording and check it out. But yeah, so Cletus, you duck off back to the action. Cletus, you duck off to the side, and you're ready. Wand outstretched, or I forget. Are you using a focus?
Yeah, he uses a spell book.
Oh, yeah. Oh, spellbook contains your books, but you've still got a focus of some sort, whether it's a wand or a. You can decide what that is later on, but a focus or spell component's one or the other. But I'm going to shoot on to Jacus. Okay, you dash to the doorway, and you can see. Okay, roll to hit.
Oh, nice.
Okay, what arm class did you hit?
The first one was a natural 1, and the second one was a crit.
Okay, all right. So you miss once, and she dodges into a full-on hammer face. Go for it. No.
Oh, nice.
Damage.
Whoa. Okay, she takes the full brunt of it. It's a massive blow.
Yeah, that's
Okay. Moltel.
Yes, I'm just going to move up right next to Junkus,
Okay.
right there. And I'm going to grow large. That's my bonus action.
Okay. We'll just buff you up there. There you go.
Thank you. I'm going to attack it.
Okay.
A 14 to hit.
It's
That's a miss. So while it's not full-on normal giant style metallic metal, there's thick hide armor with plates of bone on it.
Next one is a 25 to hit.
Okay. Well, that hits definitely.
What? It does 7 damage. Because I've got force critical, I'll just turn that off. Yeah, 7 damage on that hit.
Okay, I've done that.
And then action surge.
Yep.
Hit it twice again.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Oh, nice one.
Total of 9 damage. And I know it's a giant and all, but please make a strength saving throw.
Okay.
Because I'm using my fire rune on that hit.
Okay, your fire rune goes off, and oddly, they seem to, without the giant needing to pull against them, as you've seen some creatures do, they just slide off. You're not sure what's going on there.
It would still take 6 fire damage as well.
Yes, definitely. So,
And I still have one more hit.
go for it. Last attack.
19 to hit.
Okay, the 19 hits.
I'm also adding a d6 onto that as well. So that is a total of 15 damage with that hit.
Okay. Bear with me a sec. Okay. All right. 15 from that hit.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so she's taken a mass of blows. What's your reach with that weapon, by the way?
5 feet.
Okay. All right. So she goes. Actually, yeah. Okay. She comes along 1 to here and steps to here. Jackus, you're going to get in a free strike.
I can as well.
No, not Jackus, sorry. Moltel is going to get a free strike. So Moltel, your reach is definitely only 5 feet?
Yes, it's only 5 feet.
Okay.
At the moment.
Oh, is that because you're not using a glaive?
Yes. And my opportunity attack is only 10 feet, so that misses.
You are using a glaive though, aren't you? Oh, battle axe.
I'm using a battle axe.
Oh, okay.
So I have to use a one-arm weapon, so I can use my shield.
Oh, I
My
see.
glaive.
Yeah, right.
That's my glaive with the dog sleds.
Yeah, okay. So you've pretty much switched your tune to be a shield and weapon guy. Okay, well, the 10 misses, but this frost giant sticks a face through the doorway right into Cletus's Eldritch Blast, so you can let fly.
He's gonna get his little energy balls to fly out. 23 to hit.
23 hits.
And then a 17 to hit.
17 hits as well.
Nice. Cletus is very happy he saw the move land, so for 20 damage and 4 points altogether, 20 damage.
Okay, so in just those half a round, this giant's gone from full down to almost dead, so very badly injured. She's very surprised at getting hit by those 2 blasts. Let's see. Okay. And she, with her staff, she's going to strike at you, Jackus.
I'm going to. Oh, I can't. I've already used my reaction. Never
Use
mind.
your reaction, yeah.
Yeah, never mind. I've already used my reaction.
Okay. All right. Okay, she hits armor class 26. She's working with the staff, and as the staff strikes out, this is to you, Jackus. Okay, it does 32 damage.
32.
Yes.
Okay.
That's of bludgeoning damage. It's saying Great Axe, but this is a druid, so it has a different sort of ability. And beyond that bludgeoning damage, you feel chilling energy coming down the staff into you as ice forms around your feet. You need to roll a dexterity saving throw to try and hop up into the air and dodge out of the way of it. Okay, so what's happened is your feet and all up your legs are now frozen in ice, frozen to the ground, and you are restrained. It's holding you down. I'm not gonna kill you. What can we use? A web. That's probably a good restrained thing. Okay, so you can't move at all. Can't benefit from any bonuses to your speed. Attack rolls against you have advantage, and creatures attack and you have disadvantage when you make attacks. Of course, any other dexterity saving throws are at disadvantage because it's harder to dodge when you're stuck to the ground. Threads. This creature thumps at you as well.
Great.
Hitting armor class 21,
Yeah, that definitely hits me.
doing 22 damage. Are you still conscious?
Yeah, barely.
Okay, and you need to do saving throw versus. Oh, there's the cold damage as well. Jackus, I don't think I did the cold damage to you either. Oh, scary. Okay. So for Jackus, you take 8 cold damage, and threads.
This is on top of the 32, right?
Yeah, the 32 was bludgeoning. The 8 is cold. And threads. So you need to do your... first you take cold damage as it starts to freeze you. Taking 7. So that's 29 in total. Massive blow and 7 damage. And you need to do your dexterity saving throw. Oh, Threads jumps out of the way. And so the ice tries to creep up your legs and you sort of leap in the air and then land same square, but you are not affected. Although I know saving throws are not affected by your exhaustion. You're not that badly exhausted yet. It's just skill and ability checks. So, this creature holds out its left hand and starts muttering a spell. And as it does, you hear a rumbling in the whole earth around you. And
I cast counter spell.
okay, and have you still got your reaction?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you haven't used one yet. Good one. Okay, so cast your do your counter spell, but you need to roll for it because it's I think counter spell is a 3rd level spell for you.
Yeah, it's a 3rd level spell.
You can throw it into the chat.
Unless you use a higher level slot for it.
Yeah.
I don't know what slot is the
Okay, if the creature's casting a spell of 3rd level or higher, DC equals to 10 plus the spell's level. So you need to do... Now is it a save?
Ability check using a spell cast.
Oh no! Threads. It's at
So it is at disadvantage.
It's a disadvantage to try and interrupt this spell with a counter spell.
Wait, hold on. Cleanest counter spell.
Cletus has used his.
His reaction too.
He's used it already. When you when you ready an action, you use your reaction to do your action when something happens. So you've already blown your crack at it. But Threads, you need to do your intelligent DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. So that's it. It's just a straight D20 roll.
At disadvantage.
Yeah,
Why disadvantage?
because she's exhausted.
Yeah, make an ability check, and first level of exhaustion is disadvantage on ability checks.
Yep.
Oh god, guys, sorry.
Okay.
It's a 5.
So the 22 might have done it. You were trying to disrupt a 6th level spell.
Ooh, yeah, that's enough.
Okay. So let's see.
That's like
I'm just going to draw. So I'm going to describe. So what happens is the ground underneath your feet rumbles and seems to separate from the floor, or ice columns seem to start to rise up. And while there's a bit of a rumble, they then instantly slam 30 feet up into the air and smash against the ceiling. Possibly,
is that all of it?
like pistons, 6 of them rise up. There's only 5 creatures that can be seen, so it's going to affect Moltel, Jacus, Threads, Ash, and Cletus. Now,
What save shall we do?
I'm just checking, and I'll draw them in too. Draw shape.
6 level spell. What is this? Druid.
Well, you know, she is guarding aura like a temple of God.
Yeah, true that.
You're failing not to counter spell. What's done?
She saved Harpy. I think she just saved Sharpie from being mashed against the ceiling in his death. Not that she would have known that, to be fair.
So what save can you do?
Just one sec. To front. Oh, come on. Okay, I can't put it underneath you, Moltel, so I'm just
That's
gonna.
fine. We'll just say that I'm affected by this.
Yeah, okay.
What save do we
Alright, here we go. You cause 6 pillars of ice to burst from the ground, or raising the ground in a cylinder. They're 5 feet across and medium, or target creature under that is medium or solid. So Moltel, you are
large.
yeah. You can target a ground that is. You can target the ground on a creature that is each pillar. Okay, so Moltel, you managed to slip it, and I'm going to put it just here off to one side. And there's a pillar shooting up, but it moves around you. Believe I'll read on. Okay. Dexterity saving throw. This is to avoid being lifted up by the pillar. So we'll have one for each of the ones that are directly underneath the pillar. How are we going? Can't see any yet.
Probably dexterity.
It's dexterity. Yeah.
What's the save?
Dexterity.
Yeah. And we're not in Aura.
Okay. Okay. So threads. As this pillar jumps up, leaps up beneath you, you step off. Now you need to move yourself to one square immediately adjacent to the pillar that's next to you, which means you can move closer to this creature or further away.
Nope. He's got an opportunity attack. Oh my god.
It will get an opportunity attack as you dive off to the back.
It will get an opportunity attack.
Yeah, if you intentionally move away from it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Okay, so I will allow it. I will allow it. Okay, so you dive off to the right and land on your feet next to it, nimbly with your 20 dexterity saving throw. Ash Louise, you get carried to the ceiling, mashed to the ceiling, take 6d6 damage, so now you're being carried up forcefully. However, it's that the dexterity saving throw is just to dodge off to the side. Right, so I'm just going to roll the.
Oh, it's extra damage. Oh god.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. So, and you take 24 damage.
Barely still hanging on.
Okay, and got the rest of you can see Ash's hands, forearms, and shins poking out from either side of this ice pillar, and her chin, her head. Otherwise, her entire body is sort of pinned to the ceiling. If you remember, there was all these stalactites made of ice poking down. They're all shattered, and there's raining shards of ice coming down. And Ash's, you see a waving hand that's sort of stuck there. So I'm okay, I'm alive. That was Ash. Cletus, the same thing happens to you. You go slamming up to the ceiling, take 24 damage from being slammed against the roof, and you are restrained there. 24, yeah. Threads, you're okay. And Jacus, we haven't done you. You take 24 damage as well. And you are doubly restrained. You're held to the ground, the bottom of the pillar by ice, and the top half is now crunched and bent over against the ceiling. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, and that's Gelavikin's turn. You're getting an idea. You've had these. This is probably the first creature you've encountered that's got legendary actions. So is able to take actions, certain actions multiple times around. This is an epic big bad. Right. Holy crap! What the hell can Villin do? I don't really want to play against myself. Here we go.
For flesh to stone would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be helpful.
Okay, here we go. Creatures. I'll just call Vellin up in a separate separate window. Makes it a bit easier. Oh. Okay, she casts a spell, and waves of necrotic energy wash over her. She's going to have to move first, I guess. 1, 2. Oh, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, she can see the giant from there. She's peeking around the pillar, taking some cover behind Ash's pillar. And waves of necrotic energy go sailing towards this creature. It's a spell called Blight. And she's still got a little bit of movement, so she goes and takes 100% cover. She can't actually see the creature anymore. She ducks around behind Ash's pillar. And Sharpie, you are conscious, and
No idea what's going on, so I use part of the movement to stand up.
okay. 1, 2,
Move up to here so we can see,
3, 4.
see what's going on.
Yep.
Have a move.
So you can see all these pillars with people attached to them, pinned to the ceiling, or 2 of them. Moltel and Jackass, you can tell, are in the other room from their cries of battle, and Threads is on the ground, crouched, eyeing off this 25-foot giant. There's a big 5-foot ice.
The giant makes a good target.
Yep.
Throw cycle blades.
Okay.
22.
Okay, 22 hits. The giant clutches her head.
And attacks well.
Okay. Okay. What's the offhand attack? Can that be a psychic blade as well?
Yeah, it is a cycle blade. It doesn't follow any of the normal 2 blade.
Okay, alright. Sure. Okay.
19 damage.
Ooh, okay. Alright. Yeah, so it clutches its head. And clearly, very badly injured. And you're going to leap down the step, are you?
Yep, that seems pretty reasonable to me.
Okay.
I don't know if you caught that. Ellen gets 9, 10 HP, and Sharpie gets 10.
Oh, nice one.
You'll
Okay.
Just feel like I'm still conscious.
Okay. Ash Louise, you are restrained, pinned to the ceiling.
Can I cast spells?
You can. You can.
have disadvantage on attack.
Yeah.
Attack on spells, you have disadvantage, but
Yeah.
save and throw spells.
Give it a crack. I'll wing it. I'll wing it. I'll DM wing it. What are you trying to do?
I'm just wondering if I was like restrained and such, I can't cast spells.
No,
I
you-
have hands up, have my little mouth, so I'm sure that's okay.
Your hands are free and you can talk.
Okay, so as an action, I will Sacred Flame.
Okay.
So the dex saving.
Ooh, okay. DC 15?
So, and that just makes it.
Okay.
Let me just see.
So she steps aside with sacred energy and it misses.
As a bonus action, I'll do another. Why not? Mass healing word. Since we're here.
Okay.
Just roll it down.
Okay.
7 again. So I can see everyone south of the giant. So they can all have 7, including myself.
Yep, so Threads, Sharpie, Cletus. Now remember, is this temporary hit points though? Oh no, this is healing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then as an end of my turn in my aura, I will get another 11.
Okay. Cool. Threads.
What I can.
I'm missing that, Threads. Okay. Do you want to paste it into the... There we go. DC 14 con save, right. Okay. It looks like you're about to get a square in the chest, and she sort of slips it somehow. Lifts her leg and it goes underneath. Again, this is a feature of only epic creatures where they may be able to choose to save a certain number of times.
Great, okay. That's my turn.
Legendary resistances. Oh
Yeah.
no.
How much damage does that do for half, or is it save or none?
Yeah, it's half, so...
Okay, so she dodges out to the side, does her famous Matrix move despite having a dexterity of 9, and the thunderwave goes sailing past, but she clips her head, and her eyes roll back in her skull, and suddenly she crashes to the ground and collapses in a heap.
Amazing.
Oh, you're welcome.
Mage.
Okay, with that, her concentration fails, and these pillars tumble 30 foot to the ground along with everybody pinned to them. And so, Jacus, you take 10 damage. Cletus, you take 18, 3 sixes. And Ash, you take 12.
You can see clear as soon as the ice killer drops, he's spotting the trucks with it and he just falls.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
You know, on the bright side, you are no longer restrained.
I would reach down to Junkers and do a healing hands on him.
Okay.
Actually, 7, and I'll say, this isn't a good day to die.
Good healer feat to heal Cletus 17. Yeah.
Okay, to get to each other, you have to move half speed over all these piles of ice rubble. It's difficult ground. Okay. Yeah, no problem. I'm just saying that there's all these piles of rubble everywhere, because it's concentration, but they're not like summoned, like a wall of stone or something like that. So there's still material left after they're destroyed.
And by the way, my Giant's Mind has run out as well, because I'm choosing to end it.
Oh yes, so you go back down to regular size?
Regular size.
Okay,
Yes.
yep, no worries. Okay, I'm assuming everyone can easily stabilise each other, run to each other's aid.
Yeah.
And you'll see down here a doomsday clock. I don't know if that's visible to you. You weren't really noticing it so much last week, but it's sort of like an anxiety level. I'm not going to explain it any further than that. But it started out at 10 as you were coming up the stairs towards the place. Went down to 9 as you're exploring through, and went down to 8 at the end of your short rest. And you've got a feeling that something's going to happen, you don't know what.
Through this room, hoping to find a book.
Sneak it out, ASAP.
Let's go to Sil.
Then basically, can I try to do anything with the giants by
Yeah, sure. You can. So Sharpie's going in and investigating the room. So I'll describe that in a minute, and I assume that you're also searching the giant's body, and I'll jump straight into that. Right. Whoosh. Okay. Okay, so the giant's obviously got this 20-foot long staff. Other than that, has what looks like some sort of magical token or necklace of some sort with all these animal skulls linked together. But in the very bottom is like a pendant made of ice. The ice doesn't seem to, while it's cold, it doesn't melt. At the heat, it doesn't feel slick or anything like that, like ice does when you pick it up. Other than that, there's nothing else on her. Other than a golden torque which you find around one forearm. I'll paste that into the chat. Golden. Might be from a smaller creature, like for around their neck, and she's got it sort of like as a bracelet. Just in weight alone, it's probably worth about 700 gold. Selling it down at Shields. Sharpie. Grimskala. Here we are. This area looks like at one time it was a private chamber for a giant. It looks like there's a like a nest in a way. It's a mound of snow in the middle of the room, not disturbed at all. About 10 foot across, or 7 or 8 foot across, but it's made of snow, hard packed snow. You might need to do you can do investigation or a nature, your call, or a perception. Either of those could be used. Investigation, okay. Alright, so you invest. Okay, so you have a good snoop around and you actually find a feather. And by your reckoning, it looks like an owl feather.
Really?
Yes. Similar to your giant owls. Colouring is slightly different. There's a bit of a blue tinge to the tip of it. You can tell, I'll the stairs that you're at go up to the elements. You can hear the wind howling above you, but up the stairs.
How tall is these stairs?
Giant sized.
Yeah, I know they're giant sized, but how far up?
Oh, so you probably go in a linear, 60 foot in a linear way.
I'll ask the group, should we try and barricade up the top there? There's like a wind up there. I don't like the sound.
There's no barricade at Aurils.
True, but better safe than sorry.
At least we can hear her coming back down if she's gonna smash the barricade. Clearly not clear as water.
I'd like to go up the stairs carefully and see if there's anything up there to
Well, you can see, even around where you are, there's plenty of destroyed wooden furniture. With each beam of what might have been a table and chairs of the size of tree trunks. So it would have been a private chamber for a giant queen. So there's plenty of debris in the corners of the room. You're not going to completely fill or choke the staircase. The staircase itself is 10 feet wide and 30 foot tall from top to bottom. So like a narrow staircase for a giant. But you wouldn't choke it completely. But if I think it was one of the characters said, at least it'll make a noise and you'll hear when it gets knocked down.
That's pretty much what the plan would be.
Yeah.
I go up to the top of the stairs with some bits of lumber and stuff to try and block the staircase.
Okay.
At the top.
Yep. Sharpie, you went over to those alcoves there beside the throne to the south. And it looks like there's a smooth pane of glass, but frosty.
Sorry, each alcove looks like that?
Yeah, the plane, the curved plane that's indented from the rest of the wall. Yeah, you can see quite a bit of the debris that's been cleared away from this trashed other rooms has been piled up in here. So there's a few planks and other items, broken stuff, broken furniture mostly.
Well, bring it up. We need as much as we can.
Okay, so how long do you want to spend? Sort of like 10 minutes or an hour or what?
How long will it take to traverse the stairs to the top?
Oh, it's only, so 60 foot. It'd take a couple of rounds if you guys were dashing. Remember, it's half speed on the stairs because of the steps.
I basically have to run out all, which gives everyone 1d6 plus 7. I just take half and say everyone gets
Yeah, sure. Just remember, everyone needs to mark. Everyone should mark that as temporary. I'll use their red.
Yeah.
Red one.
How much is that?
We'll just say on average it's like 10.
Okay.
Everyone is 10. Assuming you don't have anything that's already like higher.
I had 13, so
I'm using my red bar as armor plus thing. So
Okay.
I'm using blue for my the attack.
I actually use the blue.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see each other's blue bars because I can't see anyone else's. And everyone see my green over, or can only I see it?
So yeah, I would have traversed the stairs, carried up the stairs. as
Yep.
well to
Yep.
Try and block up the top.
Okay.
Do I see anything out there moving up the top of the stairs? Other than
Yeah, you go up to the top and you find yourself in a wide, open space, open to the sky, dark above, night sky, and there's this massive nest made of conifers, pretty much occupying the area above. There are sharp spires of rock rising in a ring, and if you recall, when you looked at this place, it looked like a skull with a spiky crown. You look like you're standing in the middle of the crown.
seeing the nest up at that's probably Aurils'
before the nest.
Okay.
This is how you died, Montel.
I'm up the top!
Can't hear me.
Moltel, can you see that?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so massive nest, let's see, 10, 20, 30, 35 feet across the nest is. And it looks like, from the shape of it, it would be fit for one creature to sit inside.
Is there anything in the nest?
Yep. It's going to take a bit of a climb. You've got to scrabble up over a mishmash of conifers to try and climb in and have a look.
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay, can you just do an athletics check for me? If this thing comes back, you can pretend to be its hatched chick. Okay. Yeah, you make it over. It's not that hard. It's a simple climb. The icy crown encircling the fortress doubles as a battlement. Okay, it looks like within this there's an egg. That's something that you can immediately see. It's about 5 foot long. There also looks to be a sea chest.
A sea chest.
Yeah, it looked like what you've found in those shipwrecks, but this is now.
Yes. Just like barnacle encrusted.
Yeah.
Is the chest locked? Closed?
Hard to say from 10 feet away or so. If you want to scrabble down inside.
Yeah.
The party downstairs are discussing your actions. I don't think anyone's acting on it. It's up. You guys can jump in when you want. Yeah, no worries.
Click clapping alarm on this, okay?
Alarm, okay.
This area.
Oh, let me just switch back to your. Oh yeah, so that looks like it's been converted into an area where a giant would rest. So probably the sleeping and resting spot of the frost giant druid that you just fought.
The codicil is not here. We should move on. I said.
You don't see any you don't see any book.
What the hell? We're going. The code is up there.
I'd like to open the chest and see if,
Yeah, okay.
to see if there's a book in there.
Okay. There's a heavy padlock, so it's going to take a bit of muscle to open it.
I didn't fall across.
Okay. As you're trying to smash away at this,
Up there.
Up there.
We're casting alarm on the entry.
Yeah.
No, come up.
Okay.
Alarm's already up there.
Okay. You can hear the banging of metal on metal from above, guys. Like a hammering sort of sound. Moltel, you know.
They said, "Motel, what are you doing?"
Okay.
Nothing.
Moltel, you also.
Sound like nothing. You not get killed, please.
Well, no promises.
Okay. Moltel, you also notice a harp sort of intertwined in some of these twigs of the branches of the nest as well. Made of some sort of exotic wood with ivory. And something catches your eye. Something shiny also tangled up. But can you roll an athletics check for me?
That is a 10. again.
Okay, you smash and smash and smash and smash, but it doesn't snap.
Can I just pick up the chest and gauge how heavy it is?
Yeah, probably about the same size as the egg. About 150 pounds.
I can carry that.
You can. It would just be the encumbrance of carrying a large chest, but yes, you could carry it. You're still affected by your giant strength, I believe. Is that an hour or a day?
It's a minute until I enter this bonus action, which I'm done, and I can't do it again until a long rest.
The giant strength potion that you drank.
That was an hour, that wore off on short rest.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, that's an hour. Okay, cool. So no longer affected by the strength business. But yeah, so you could haul it, carry it sort of fireman style over one shoulder and come down. The shiny thing looks like some sort of silver necklace, which is just human sized, would be light.
I'll pick that up as well.
Okay.
And the chest.
Okay.
I'll leave the egg.
Okay.
And I'll leave the heart.
Okay. So, guys, you eventually hear Moltel come down, a bit of poof, as he goes down each 4-foot step, and then puts the chest on the step and slides it across, and hops his way down. Has to navigate around the mishmash of stuff that's in the way, and eventually gets back down to you. Moltel, there you are.
Alright, let's get going.
Not here.
I found this chest up there. Might be a good idea to look in it. Saves me carrying it all the way down the stairs again.
Fair enough. Sharpie moves out of the water.
Okay, do your lockpicks dexterity, Sharpie.
Guidance.
Yeah, you can guidance him before he does it. Get the extra D4. 24. Boomski. That's even before any boosts. Okay, you managed to open it up, Sharpie. You can smell, there's a smell of seaweed from within, so it's probably, musty sort of smell. You can see leather bags of gold.
Sharpie doesn't really bother checking it out much, just unless it's a book, he just tosses it in the bag of holding and
Sure. Oh, there's a scroll. There's no books, but there's a scroll case and a leather sack.
Bag of holding, we'll look at it later.
Okay.
check the bag of holding, the sack to make sure it's not a bag of holding.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah, you look inside and you can see lots of gold.
Yep.
So yeah, you're confident it's not a bag of holding. It's regular size. Icicles on the ceiling. So there's stumps of icicles on the ceiling, but most of them were destroyed by the radiant energy from the sunbeam spell, I believe it was. No, it wasn't sunbeam. Something along those lines, anyway. The other thing, yeah, so most of them are snapped off, but there's plenty on the floor as well. Okay, something, one of the bits comes loose and you see Velen dart to one side. And it sort of clocks her on the head and she takes a bit of damage from it.
Old age. Velen. I
She says to you, this place is not where we need to be, I'm sure, and we should be moving on. It's not safe.
Agreed.
Right. So we go downstairs and try this trial thing.
I think that's the place to go. I think that's a good idea.
Okay, let's...
Nowhere else to go.
Avengers assemble. Well, who are we missing? There's someone not in our little cluster there. Is it? There's 7 of us?
There's 7.
1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, I just can't count. No worries. Okay, we will... pack our doomsday clock with us. And move on. Yes, here we are, down to the next floor. And you're continuing on down beneath the castle proper. So you come down to the level where you entered, if you recall, and then down that curving staircase further beyond. Oh, Moltel, don't dash off.
I wasn't dashing off.
Okay, so once again, that gives you a... So Sharpie, having those 2 windows that you were looking through but couldn't see because they were frosted, looks like you were looking through the eyes of the Skull Fortress.
Nifty. By the way, is anyone else getting visual distortion on these maps?
Yes. Yeah. I got a little bit of visual distortion there.
I'm dragging it around all over the place and I've got it to render as we go, so rather than just on drop. Means it's better for you guys when you just do little explores here and there because you see it as you go, but it means it can get a bit jerky when I drag the whole party here and there. So
I'm actually getting very little visuals for some reason, so...
okay,
Because it looks like you're in a wall.
Yeah, there.
there you go. I'll put you back with the crowd, little lost
Yeah, got
duckling.
nothing. For some reason, like literally the quarter of the screen is just gone psychedelic.
Oh really? Oh, okay, alright, you might need to just reconnect to Roll20, might be better.
I've just done that like 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
It's exactly the same
Exit,
error.
exit Roll20, close off Roll20 tab and
Yes, I have done that.
Okay,
Oh no.
well we might not be here for long if because
Just make sure you describe what's going on.
yeah, no worries. Okay, so it looks exactly like that, and sorry.
It's the exact same room.
You're in
I
the...
remember it was.
Okay, so you're in the ice rink. The walrus is still there. He says, "Oh, welcome back. It's been an hour or 2. Been busy?"
I asked him if he has any way of healing us. We've been in a
Oh, no, sorry. Oh, no ways from here beyond time. Time is what you need. It's the best healer. He talks like a great granddad.
I cast Prayer of Healing, but it takes 10 minutes.
Yeah, we can take 10
I
minutes.
think we about an hour, yeah.
I don't know what happened to the program. But very pretty bad shape.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not worried about this doomsday clock.
I said 10 minutes sounds bad to me.
10 minutes is good enough.
It's one particular thing they got an hour. Half hour. How does it work?
It's been about...
If we have a long rest and that goes to 0, we don't know what will happen.
It's like a short rest.
You could just cast Prayer of Healing.
Okay.
For now, at least.
Prayer of Healing. Off you go. 10 minutes. Is this a ritual?
I know it's just a spell. Everyone gets 30.
Oh, nice one. Oh, so just a bit more time sensitive. Okay, so everyone gets 13 back. Now you don't get temporary hit points back. Bear that in mind. In case you lost any temporary. Yeah. So the temporary hit points that you have remain. If you've been wounded, you take them off the temporary hit points first. Obviously, they were restored after the battle because Ash kept on going with doing 4 minutes, so you'd all get, start off with a full temporary hit points. But this healing doesn't restore temporary hit points, just for normal healing won't. But nevertheless, you're all looking pretty good. Threads, Jacus and Cletus are still fairly badly injured. You're presented with these 4 doors with runes on them. There's also the doorway to the south, which the Walrus Ukuma had said to you was the way to seek the wisdom of Auril. North was to the tomb of Veluviken, the Vasaviken. True, yeah. The two frost giant skeletons wielding anchors on chains.
Yeah, don't go to the north.
Okay. So.
Which door corresponds to which trial, I asked.
Okay. So, let's look. You'll have to go and so it's not written on the door, but the Walrus said that they go through to the tests of cruelty, endurance, isolation, and preservation.
Isolation sounds pretty good. What is that?
Cruelty. I'll take one for the team to go with that one.
Isn't it a yeah, it's a group thing I think.
Oh, that's also fine with me.
Yeah, I just want to see how this group isolation is.
Yeah. So it's isolation, endurance, cruelty, and what was the last one?
Preservation.
Preservation. Sounds like a healing thing.
Sounds like a fighting thing.
Cruelty, 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 cruelty.
I'm just doing cut and paste.
Awesome.
I mean, we're going to have to do all many ways. Just
People want to go in.
Isolation first then? But we don't know what we're going to lead to, right? He said that he doesn't know what they lead to.
Or go in.
Yeah, he just said that the tests. These are the 4 prime attributes that Auril favours. Okay, sorry. Isolation, was it?
Yep.
Okay.
Agreed.
All right. So you open the door. Just moving the door aside. And you can see it goes down to a long chamber with a sort of triangular shape, leading to a similar sized door with another enclosed, with another door in the distance. Those of you with dark vision can see the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, about 60 foot. So you can all of you with dark vision can see to the door.
Can I hear anything?
No.
passive light spell to see this he cannot see.
Yeah, good one. Okay. I'm going to... Cletus, I'm just activating your globe of light. Bright light. I still got it. Bright light 20 foot, low light 20 foot.
Yeah, I think so. Yes, it is.
Okay. Valen will come in as well. What about you, Ash?
Yeah, I'll go with the team.
Okay. All right. This time you see another door. This looks like it's made of ice, and carved in it, in common, is the word isolation.
I open the door.
Okay. You open the door, and it's as if everything sort of fades, instead of fading to black, fades to white for all of you. And your surroundings vanish in a flurry of snow and ice. And when your vision clears after a few moments, you blink the snow away. You find yourself standing at the edge of what looks like a nomad camp under a clear sky. There are many reghead warriors in the camp, and they look to be readying for battle of some sort. They're all sharpening weapons. I'm going to scooch us off to a new map. Where are we? Okay. I'll just bring you up to the right size for this map too. So you've all been transported somewhere else.
It's not an illusion, it's actual transportation.
There you go. You're at the edge of a camp, and a warrior. It seems completely real to you.
So there's a warrior in front of us.
Yeah, and sees you and sort of approaches and there's quite a few that you can see, in the middle of the camp, and a couple of them ready spears and come towards you. As soon as they see you, they seem to look up, like on top of you, and then they lower their spears and look amazed. And looking at each other, you sort of think, what the hell? You see this glowing, ghostly snowflake spinning above your heads, about a foot above each of your heads.
Where are we? Cletus, we are out.
One of them holds out a hand, and they both gesture. They lower their spears and gesture for you to follow them through between these two tents.
Do they seem threatening at all?
No, they don't. They seem more happy to see you.
Then I will follow along carefully and...
Okay, I'm not using tokens.
Psychic communication still up?
How long does that last for?
A was.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Normally.
Yeah.
In which case, Sharpie is going to hide somewhere. It's tenfold.
Sharpie and this, you have a light feature on you, like glowing.
It shines out of my sunny disposition.
Yes.
Sorry, that's what
Okay. So a looks like a leader figure stands up and approaches you. A warrior comes striding towards you, and at her side is this enormous saber-toothed tiger. You can see that she's given great deference by everyone around her, and she gestures to you and then shouts to all the others. And says, "Auril has blessed us," she shouts all within earshot. "The Frost Maiden has sent emissaries to watch our camp as we complete our mission." And she comes forward and says, "Thank you, Auril, and thank you, emissaries." And it's not like there's rousing...
What's your mission?
We seek to raid. Food is tight. And it is our way.
Raid who?
Another tribe. The weak tribe of the elk are nearby, and we shall we'll be taking all of my warriors, hoping that we can overwhelm them to such an extent that it can be done without bloodshed. If they think they have a chance, they may fight back. However, that leaves our
It leaves your camp unguarded.
unprotected. And we were praying for some sort of solution to this problem without having to weaken our forces. And here you are. And she calls out, "Make ready!" And she gets on, He-Man style, onto this saber-toothed tiger. Looks like the tribal warriors are all travelling fairly light. They've got like a sling with some gear over each shoulder, but generally they're carrying axes or spears of some sort.
Hold on, we don't know how long we're gonna be here. Why, if you come back and we're gone, well, shouldn't you leave one of your clan members with us?
Can you roll a persuasion? Please, Cletus the Magnificent.
With 7?
Okay. She says, "I trust that if Auril has chosen you for this task, then I trust in her wisdom. You've been gifted with divine favour," and she gestures to the snowflake above your head spinning.
Can anyone see the orange snowflakes?
Yeah, if you look directly up, it's a bit hard, but they don't move as you move; they just are above you. So if you look directly up into the sky above, then yes, you can see a snowflake about a foot above your head.
Can you try and grab it?
Yeah, it passes through, and it's like an apparition, like a little hologram.
I would like to pray to Selune quietly, like sort of my head, asking, just what's going on? Am I supposed to allow this cruelty to occur for the greater good?
Who are you asking, Threads, or is that just introspection?
Oh, that's me asking like my goddess. Not really expecting an answer.
Yeah.
Gods don't necessarily like that, but still asking. Never know.
Grava, this saber-toothed tiger, seems to be keeping a steady eye on you, though, even though the rest seem to have embraced you, Ewok style, as emissaries of Auril.
Is there a fire that is lit? Because I'm going to make my way to a fire just to make it look like I'm keeping myself warm.
Yep. Yeah, okay. Yeah, she says it'll be a day's travel there and a day's travel back. Protect our camp as best you can, and we will share in the spoils and glory of the tribe of the tiger. And you hear all this whooping and hollering from the tribesmen.
No promises will be here when you're back. This is temporary.
I have faith, and she looks above, looking towards the aurora borealis that is currently twisting its way around the landscape.
Does the time in this location match the time that we were in the tower? Like, is it nighttime in the tower?
It is nighttime, yeah. Yeah, it is
In the
night.
tower, so it kind of matches. It's nighttime here too.
Yeah, it feels like you've just been teleported rather than, a dream.
Please, one of the cases whisper we should wait until they all leave before we do something.
Well, it's not long because they're all about to head off, and they're all on dog sleds, and there's whooping and hollering with with Bornhild and Grava led by her with her saber-toothed tiger, and they all head off, leaving you alone with the camp. Okay.
Right, well that was weird.
So, what do we do now?
I don't know if
Wait for Aurils test, I
I
imagine.
don't know if this is an illusion or real.
Sharpie's going to go through each of the tents, not taking anything, but just noting what's there.
Cletus is gonna start ritual casting detect magic around him while everyone's doing the investigations.
Casting detect magic. It doesn't. Nothing radiates magic. The little snowflake does.
And my shield. And it's like
Oh yeah, and the items that you've got that.
I don't think this is an illusion, because an illusion would have magical traces. I think this is a real location. Dylan, can you teleport us back?
No, she can't.
Sounds like a dumb idea.
She was expecting to. She had an item that could teleport, like a helmet, and that cow Naz Lantamir stole it, and she must have.
Did she get it back with the body?
No, it wasn't with the body. So either it's at the bottom of the ocean somewhere, if she was drowning, or God knows what. But Velin was hoping to recover that as well as her orb.
Well, shall we try and try and see more of our surroundings then? To see what we're actually guarding?
Yes, in the
Yeah.
meantime, I guess I could make a tiny hut in case we have to shelter from an attack. I don't know, I can't think of anything useful for me to do.
Yeah, it would work.
Okay. So, so you explore the camp, and it seems like a legit, regular, nomadic camp, easily broken down and consisting of a bunch of, yurts and fireplaces outside of each one. Looks like that you can see fireplaces dotted around, but it looks like they might have been more for defence, because within you don't make fireplaces for heat out in the snow. You would make them inside each tent. But if once you've scouted out that area, there's a fairly heavy snow falling, and which obscures your vision. But from your initial scout, it seems like it's a fairly flat, open tundra, in a regular tundra plain. Is the
Food in the tents?
no.
So only food we've got is the food we brought with us.
Cletus wants to dispel magic, but he doesn't know if he dispels the flake above his head, he might get teleported back just by himself.
I mean, we were going to pass the trial test. There's kind of no point trying to break it.
The trial is isolation. Or
That isolation was the word written on the door.
So perhaps we're also isolated and stranded here until the time ends.
How does time pass here? I wonder though.
Well,
Yeah. I'll
Let-
tell you in a minute.
over the course, yeah. Yeah, so it feels like you're just... Yeah, okay. All right, so you start preparing some dinner and jump into one of the yurts and start getting out your rations and start preparing for a meal. Half an hour passes and now you've had a meal.
So should those who are injured rest? I'll take first watch.
Yep,
This is a program.
Yeah, I'm gonna try people on Earth.
okay.
Do you wanna maybe light up all the fire pits in case it's too hard to see?
I will do that on watch, yes. So you guys just rest. I'm fine out here in the cold.
300 feet dark vision.
Yeah, I've got 120. I can see.
Okay. So, yeah, so are you all going into the one tent, or you can see they're pretty big. You can fit sort of 5 or 6 people in a tent, no problem.
I think we're staying in Ash's hut.
Oh, Ash, so do you want to draw a circle where your hut is? I think that's 10 foot across, from memory.
Foot radius, isn't it? Or that?
Oh, you'll let me know. You let me know and draw it in. Doesn't really matter for now.
Radius, 10 foot radius.
Yeah, okay. So 20 foot diameter circle. Okay, so you cast your hut. Everyone gets in, and 8 hours pass. You manage to take a short rest. So anyone who wants to spend a short rest of stuff, and you've been sitting here inside this dome, which is warm, but in for 8 hours now.
not a long rest.
Oh, do you want to just sleep? You could do that instead if you wanted to.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Take watches and chips.
So no one's actually doing anything. You're just saying, right, let's just try to get our rest and recover from our ordeals within Grimscala. And 8 hours
I'm
pass.
looking at the fires on my watch to see if they stay lit and stuff.
You're
Other than that, I'm not doing much.
Yeah, okay. Lighting all the fires is going to be a trial.
He's gonna stay awake too.
Okay.
He has a belief to just not sleep at all, so he still gets long rested, but
Yep.
he stays awake the whole time.
Yeah, okay. He still has to do periods of low activity. Moltel, you're feeling like you're not going to get a long rest if you're trying to keep so many fires all alight.
That doesn't really bother me.
Okay. All right, so 8 hours later, everyone has a long rest except Moltel. You've been watching throughout the night. There's a bit of a haze on the horizon. The aurora has completely ringed the sky, and people wake up from their rest. And Ash, your concentration on your Lehman's tiny hut, not concentration, but the ritual finishes. Now,
More tap HP, right?
yeah, so
No, the temp HP I gave out goes away, but the 10 that I and I think Motel and I waked up with from the Lantern, we get
Yeah,
that
yeah.
instead.
You also get half of your hit dice back and can spend them straight away if you choose to.
Except me,
Yes,
because I did.
that's right. Yep.
So, that's fine.
I traded watches for you to get rest.
How do you fare in the cold?
I'm actually fine in the cold.
Maybe too much.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's still half a night, 16 hours left in the day, and then you'll be halfway to when they said they were getting back. Is the plan to just keep ritual casting Tiny Hut and just staying there?
I mean, I could do that. I don't mind making another hut. At least we'd all be warm and stuff.
Okay.
It's been freezing out here in the cold.
Absolutely. Let's just group together and try and stay as warm as possible.
Okay. So it's a ritual spell, so it doesn't take your slot if you're casting it over. It's 11 minutes. You cast it again. Everyone gets in. You all take another 8 hours before it vanishes again. You're starting to just get a bit freaked out. Claustrophobia, cabin fever. You've spent 16 hours now just sitting in this. It's like being trapped in an elevator. And remember, Ash.
You get out of the hut and walk around during the time.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, you can. So you can get air out and stretch your legs, and just to, even though there's thick snowstorm, but you can still see 30 or 40 feet through the snow. And another 8 hours passes, and finally a third lot of 8 hours. This time with a bit of a glow. It's twilight, still obscured by thick snow, but a full day has passed with your guarding this.
We could have a remembrance service since we're here for so long. How top.
Yes.
We just get to have a funeral.
Can I summon back ice?
You could, yes. Yep. Do I need to drag ice on, or can you do that?
I'll do it.
Okay. There we go. Right. Can everyone? We're going to make a group check. A group survival. Wisdom survival. So as long as half the party pass, we're all cool.
Oh, we don't have threads anymore.
Yeah, sorry.
So Jacos fails with a 6. Threads fails with a 9. Cletus, you're okay. Sharpie, natural 20. And Ash, you are the balancing entry. You're the Kamala Harris of the group. And the party sort of, this is just keep it about, probably an easy way to say this is keeping it together. This is the staving off the effects of cabin fever.
Telling boring religious stories to like entertain people.
Do you want to go through? No, thank you.
I'm bringing up my next cards.
Oh, Sharpie will be definitely up to play cards.
Oh yeah, sweet.
Okay, so you've all got your Uno out, and you've done I Spy, and you're going through all the sea shanties that Nina taught you on your travels, and we're well into day 2. So, is there any new activities, or is it a continuance of what you're doing? It's not really day by day, it's more 8 hour by 8 hour blocks, but with time measured in Liamon's hut locations.
I occasionally make sure to walk around the perimeter just to make sure nothing.
Yeah, okay. I think everyone's going to need to do that at some point, unless they're actively really trying to just go fetal cocoon position and wait it out.
During the wait, Sharpie's going to ask Threads, since
Yes.
you're not yourself anymore, can I trade you for that cloak? No offense, but you
No.
can't use it all that well.
I can still use it, and I'm still stealthy.
New Threads breathes louder than the old one used to run. I'll happily trade you stuff for it, but I'll even give it back to you once we're done, but that would have saved my butt up in that tower.
Do you have anything that I would be interested in?
I don't know. What's New Threads interested in?
Magical stuff?
I've got the necklace. I mean, it's not got much use now, but it's... find the other half of it might be good.
Remind me, what does that do again?
Controls a shield guardian, but we don't have a shield guardian.
Well, it's useless then.
I can say it's hard.
Fine, you can have the cloak. For now. I won't get back to you too.
I'll tell
Yeah, that's fair.
Cletus is gonna butt in. Like, didn't you find a spell book? Give it to Threads. Or a spell scroll?
Sharpie will pull the scroll out of the bag, hold.
Okay.
Oh, and the Cletus is gonna pass Threads the spell book that he's been carrying this whole time that he can't use.
Ah, yes, the one with that you got some rituals out of.
Yeah, so I got the rituals out, but there's still spells on it.
Yeah,
So
okay.
this is what spells are on the book left. I took all the rituals, but I don't know how the spell books work.
Yeah, you can scribe them, so you'll have to look back. I think you've got it in Party Treasure from a wizard that you defeated.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there is a party. No, I don't think they go from within the book, but they're just useless until they're scribed to another wizard.
Do you want these?
How do I do that?
you do it with magic ink or special inks that you prepare. Costs money for the ink unless you've got a tower that just creates them from scratch, from illusions. But the scroll is a clerical scroll of mass cure wounds.
Oh, no, I don't. I have mass healing word. Mass healing is very powerful. Much better.
But we don't have any of the ink, right? Because it was just an illusion.
Yeah.
And then it disappeared.
Yeah.
No, well, I guess it's sort of like it's abstract thing where wizards they pay like an X amount of gold per spell level, X number of hours.
Yep.
And just copy those spells into your book and use them.
Yep.
But I think a clerical spell scroll only like a divine magic user can use it. What kind of wizard?
No, scroll is more a one-use item, like a potion.
Yeah. So because it's not a wizard scroll, I think probably I could use it and it would be one and done. But it's a very powerful spell.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay. Cletus, the stuff that you put in the chat, is that...
Yeah,
or
it's part of the wizard spellbook that he got from Sharpie. So he's already used whatever he could, but this is he'll pass it on to you because he couldn't use all of it. He could only use the ritual spells.
Can I just use them? Or I have to copy them into my...
I think you just copy them to your spellbook.
Yeah, you're going to have to... You could carry the book around, but you'll need to get some inks supplies next time you're in a town where they've got it.
Okay.
Also, we had an ice token that didn't melt from that giant. If somebody wants to check that out.
Yeah. It looks like a arcane focus for a druid. So it could be used like a wand or a orb or a staff that a wizard does. Druids have twigs of mistletoe or interesting sticks. A feather bit of guano on it. In this case, an icicle that doesn't melt.
And was that golden chalk that was that huge amount of was that magic?
No, it wasn't magical, but it's worth 700 gold just in weight to someone who could trade. Not really got much of a jewellery value. The way that a lot of barbarians might port their treasure is just by melting them down and hammering them into something that they can wear. The sack, however, has 320 gold in it and a black pearl ring. It's not magical as either, but has treasure value. I'll post.
Can I fill in if she has any ink on her?
Let's see. Yeah, you can ask her. Just one sec. No, she doesn't.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a sort of a downtime activity to scribe scrolls into your books. Okay. Yeah, go, Cletus.
No, I was just cracking my knuckles.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, all right. Okay, day 2, you spend another 24 hours in isolation, and everyone is just getting a bit more cabin fever by the end of this time and needs to do a wisdom survival check, please.
It's the madness check, probably.
Yeah, we've got a 14 from Moltel, 21 from Jacus, so there's 2 passes. 3 passes with Sharpie, and Threads and Cletus both fail. And who are we missing? There should be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and a fail from Ash. Okay. Which means Kamala's going to be Velin in this case.
God.
Here we go.
Come on, old lady.
Yeah.
Can't be crazy. Can't be crazy.
No, you can't. You can't. Guidance affects something that happens the next round. Yeah. Some DMs do. I don't have guidance. It's something you can just cast every 6 seconds, and then anyway.
Because that wouldn't be annoying at all.
Yeah.
You still casting guidance on me.
Okay, here we go. Arcane Brotherhood. I must have navigated away, unfortunately. There, new tab. I'm someone of many tabs. Now, what do we say? Wisdom. Ooh.
Survival.
Okay, I'm just going to have to do a d20.
Wizards are famous.
Okay, she passes. In fact, the whole party pushes through. At the end of that day, the tribal warriors don't return. And even 8 hours into they're 8 hours late after another casting of Learmon's Hut. You're into day 3 now. And they still haven't... Day 3, yeah. And they still haven't returned.
Is there any change to the environment or like the snowflakes or anything?
No, the snowflakes are still hovering there. Are you continuing to...
I could cast set people whilst we're waiting, since we're having long rests and all.
Yep.
Was there anyone we wanted to cast set?
Can't you send it to the tribesmen?
I could, you're right. I will try and cast sending to the...
Do you want something? Do you want file? Do you want
Yep. Okay. You cast sending, and what are you saying?
I said, this is the representatives of Orbit. You're late. when should we expect you? Are you alright?
She says, we're busy, you'll just have to wait.
I pass that on to the party. Well, in the meantime, we have a little,
Marshmallows?
little camp and service for the friends we've lost along the way. Just to get up on the camp. No, we never did it properly. I don't think we ever in character.
No, we didn't.
No, we always run around. So I will put on my priest vestments and go. Properly, I go, fill my glass, take a sip of water, whatever, pour some out for the others, and go. Well, as a cleric of Salude now I just hope that for Elvas and Nina and Nina's mother and everyone else who's been lost in this winterland, that Salude guides them peacefully across the seas to the far shores, where we will see them again on the other side, and that Lathander takes them to his bosom, to a place where there is no cold or death ever again. Now pour a drink out.
to Nina and Elros.
Yes, I hope we cross paths in Elros again. I hope.
Oh, we're doing a ceremony for Elros and he's not dead.
It's just leaves.
Okay.
Threads is just I can't partakers.
Mortal's going in the opposite direction. It's like, no. No more.
Cletus is gonna tell Bellin about the old lady, how they met.
All right, can I have everyone over day 3 do another wisdom saving throw?
Survival check.
Yeah, survival check, sorry.
I think I made it this time. It might be harder every roll.
Yeah, it is feeling your cabin fever is increasing. So, audit time. Sharpie with a 5 fails it.
That's actually 24 because I rerolled.
Oh, it was a natural one. Okay, yep, cool. So we got a pass from Sharpie, natural 20. Velin passes with a 16. Threads fails, Moltel fails, and we've got 3 more passes. Whoa, 18, 19, 19. All right, so it was only the 10 and the 14, from what I can see, failing on day 3. Cool. All right, so day 3 passes uneventfully, apart from your 2 or 3 person remembrance session, and you're into day 4. Can everyone do?
I'd like to just walk out, just keep walking out into the snow.
Okay. How far do you want to go?
I just keep walking for a long time until I get really tired, I guess. Just to see if the isolation comes or anything.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Did she tell anyone that she's doing this, or she just gone?
No, I shouldn't say. I shouldn't say.
Okay. All right. I'll get everyone to do a day 4 check now, please. And this incorporates Threads' investigation of the barrier. 1, 2,
Barrier?
3. Oh no, I think Threads is going out looking for a perimeter or what happens out in the wilderness. So Moltel starts to sort of wig out, so does Jackus, so does Threads, so does Cletus. Ash, you're okay. And Velin passes as well. So we've got 2 passes. Okay, Sharpie, you got a 20 as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3 passes this time, and 4 fails. Ash, Cletus, and Velin, you hear a howling from the northeast.
What was
Did
that?
you hear that?
Yeah.
No, I don't hear a thing.
You're still within your dome.
I will, yeah, well, is our vision limited by snow?
Yeah, to about 60 feet by snow.
I'll just cup my hands to my mouth. Oh, you know what? I'll cast thaumaturgy, so my voice is triple volume, and I'll shout out, like, get into the hut, there could be wolves or something.
Okay.
To whoever can hear.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
Yeah. Eventually Moltel and Sharpie, you come back and you can hear a mournful howl.
Mournful howl.
Yeah.
Does it sound like it's coming from ice?
It does, from where ice was at least.
I will go over and
Investigate. Okay. Jackus is nowhere to be seen, and Ice is sort of sniffing.
He's just clearly straight there underneath ice.
There he goes. Boomski. Ice is sort of sniffing the ground, walking around in figure eights, looking up, sort of, and then sniffing, and then howling at the at the stars above.
So pizza both him and Cletus and Maltel, and just ask Ice what's wrong.
Ice sort of looks at you, turns his head on its side, and then starts sniffing again.
Well, Ice can speak, can't he? Like he understands
No.
languages.
I don't know. Jackus?
I thought the paladins meant.
Those threads when we need to talk to animals.
Yeah.
Can't even do that. I know. What?
I'd like to.
Thanks, large question.
I'd like to put a reassuring hand on
Ice.
his forehead and pat Ice.
Okay. And you have a good look, like let's say over the course of an hour, and you find no trace of Jackus.
Ash, can you use your magic to contact Jackals?
Yes, I think we must. I will cast sending for Jackus.
And threads? Because she's not here either.
Been a long rest since the last time I cast sending.
Yeah, it's a third day, full day.
Yeah, it's day 4.
Okay. I cast sending to Jackus. I say, Jackus, where are you? We've been hearing some noises. You may want to get back to camp.
You send your message, but you don't get a response.
Oh gods. Do I know if you received it? Or
No.
if I just don't hear back?
No, you would need. I'll reserve that more for telepathy.
Speaking of telepathy, it turns out Jackus now can actually speak and understand a language, so I can talk.
Okay.
Turns out when I'm telepathy, I understand Orcish. Don't ask me how that works.
How does a mouse speak Orcish? Not asking question.
Telepathy solves all problems, apparently.
Very handy.
Or if language just a medium of thought, so you can just think directly.
Okay, so you do your mental connection with Ice. Is that the go?
Yep, Ice, Maltel, and
Jackus, what's the spell? Is it Find Steed or Summon Steed? Find Steed.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I understand about the language. It's just the word
I'm looking at it here. Your steed serves as an instinctive bond.
It's the ability to understand one language of my choice.
Yeah, okay. And because it understands the language of your choice, when Sharpie contacts it, the language is irrelevant, so it can talk. Okay, so you make contact with Ice, Sharpie.
I just asked him what happened to Checkers.
He says we were travelling together through the snow, investigating, and then he wasn't there.
This place is somewhat magical. Hopefully he'll turn up again.
He says a pack should stay together. A pack should stay together.
If you smell him or see him, let me know.
Okay. So if you return to your Leomund's hut, Ice will go and basically just sit at the spot where Jackus, he last saw him, and just look out into the snow.
Sharpie will report back, and then Sharpie's just going to keep doing a patrol around the camp, see if we can find one or two people who are lost.
Okay.
But I don't have to hold out much
Right. So,
Yes.
Did you be able to contact the other one?
Can't reach Takus, so could be unable to reply, or another plane, maybe another way out, who knows. But I think we should just bunk here for the moment. I will try to contact Threads.
okay, with the sending.
Sending to Thread.
Yeah, and you're going to say something, and then if you want to say something back, you can.
Can you hear me? It's Ash. Where are you? We should get back to camp as soon as possible. We've lost Takus.
Okay.
I respond saying, "Oh, okay, I guess this isn't working. I'll get back to camp."
I'll tell Cletus that. Oh,
I turn back and go back to camp.
Okay. Eventually, Threads comes back in, looking a bit nippy. And can everyone roll another survival check?
oh boy. Oh no.
Day 5 to 10. Are we been here that long?
No, it's day 5. Day 5.
18 for me.
Oh, this is with the 5, Sharpie? Oh, he was psychic power to boost it. Yep, cool. Okay. Throughout the course of that day, you're all stretching your legs, doing whatever, and at one point throughout the day, you hear Velen going, come back, everyone." Yeah, Threads, you walk in through the dome, and Velen's the only one there.
Yeah.
Velen says, "I didn't."
The dome's dropped?
No. The dome is there.
Has the dome dropped? The dome is there.
The dome is there.
The ash isn't inside the dome. This is weird. You have to be inside the dome to have it up. If you leave the dome drops.
Turns out someone didn't get that memo.
Hmm.
Or perhaps Ash is just more powerful than he can possibly imagine.
What?
Maybe press this away name, let them have it.
Over the course of the next 10 minutes, though, the dome does seem to turn slowly transparent and vanish by the end of 10 minutes or so.
Velen, what did you see? Ash was in here the whole time with you.
Yeah, but I wasn't sitting here staring at her. I've been reading through my spell book and so on, taking the downtime to read as much as I could. And at one point, I looked up to say something, and she wasn't there. But that's what was so alarming. I expect that when someone leaves their own tiny hut, it disappears straight away.
Cletus is he wants to cast a dispel magic now. Oh,
There's nothing magical apart from the stuff that you already know is magical.
the snowflakes on my head are magical, right?
Yes.
I feel like if we stay here longer, we're just gonna all get plucked out one by one.
Yep, and the question is, how long do we stay before we pass the test? Or how many of us that survive before we pass the test?
If I dispel magic, we're gonna fail the test.
It'll probably do that sort of thing. But hey, I don't know anything about magic, so feel free to give it a shot.
On a side note, how much food do we have left between us?
It's a good idea. 5 days each.
Sharky has the bag of holding, so he's got a fair bit.
Okay.
Cletus is on his last ration actually. It was been 5 days.
Yeah.
Same here. I've actually just used up my last ration.
Okay. So if everyone's just crossing off their own rations for now, and then if we all need to mug Sharpie for his, you could do that.
Sharpie tells you he has 11.
Okay.
I have one left.
11 people days.
Right. Okay.
I'll take 2 of those rations. Just so we can go.
I'll just give another 2 to everybody who's here. So.
Okay. So
Does Dylan have a rope?
she's got her own. So if you cross off yours and everyone else mark theirs up, that way we know how many are left if someone else disappears.
Yeah, so I've given 2 to everybody.
Okay. All right. And you don't have a Lehman's hut now, so it's suddenly cold. You will need to be indoors to not freeze to death, even if you're resistant to cold. Immunity's okay.
I'm immune.
Yes, we know.
I'm probably gonna hang by ice anyway.
Okay. All right. So day 6. This is your day now of living in tents, with a small fire built, and completely closed off to the elements. If everyone can cross off 1 day's more food and 1 more check, please. Day 6. Not stealth.
Sorry, that was the wrong check. I will re-roll that.
No worries.
19 for sure.
Okay.
Survival for good.
Okay, so you all you push through this final day. You're on 1 day's left food, and your person that's able to create food and water is gone. And at one point throughout the day, Threads goes off for her walk through the mist and doesn't come back.
Chris gone.
Alright, seems to be one person disappearing a day.
Now, towards the end of that day, you hear many dogs approaching. And you can hear, you can see triumphantly Bjornhild advancing with her sled of 6 huskies, her saber-toothed tiger at her side, and a long line of reghead nomads of the tiger tribe. They whoop and holler in victory as they approach. As they approach, she goes to hail you, and as you do, it starts to all turn white, as it did when you first came here, and you all appear back in the same room when you first opened the door. Threads and Ash. Who else? Where are you? Jackus are all there as well.
Are we all seeing
You no longer have a little icicle above you. You're feeling your anxiety level has gone from 8 down to 7.
Alright, let's go for another room. You not got a choice?
I reckon we should go endurance.
Cletus wants to go talk to the warriors and ask them how they've gone.
Oh, yeah, okay. He says, probably, I would say, about no longer than an hour.
Does that mean we ate all the food? Oh, sad. It was an illusion, guys. Just come to mind.
Considering it was like a god illusion.
It felt like we were in there for days.
Whoops.
At least we rested.
Yeah, good one to start with. So, cruelty?
Yes.
Alright, cruelty it is.
I think we're going to endurance.
I made the suggestion of endurance, but everyone wants to go cruelty, so let's go cruelty.
Yeah, good vote. It's a good vote, doesn't matter. We're all going to go hit them anyway.
Does Ice come back with me?
Ice does come back with you.
Mental resilience.
Did I have the equivalent of a long rest in my absence?
It feels as if to all of you, that you've been away for 6 days, and for Ash, Jackus, and who else was off? Threads.
Reds.
Yeah, there you are. So you 3. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's as if you've been like in stasis of some sort. So you've not been having, lounging about in wherever you were. You were in some sort of it looked like being petrified or something, like frozen. So you're returned now here but in the state that you were in when you first vanished.
So we don't get any benefits when resting.
Oh yeah, so you rested. Some of you rested for 6 full days. Some of you rested for 3 full days. But like if you happen to have cast a spell, for example, like of any sort, then that would have been expended. But I don't think anyone's in that state, because the only one who was casting spells was Ash, and those were rituals. So you now should be back at full hit points and with your full spells back, as if you've taken a long rest. In the course of an hour. 10:35. Let's take 5 minutes so I can grab a coffee, if that's okay. Okay.
Tide multiple shoots better than regular multiple.
Okay. How much damage? 16, is it?
On that first one.
Oh, 2 damage.
14 to hit.
4. Yeah.
14 to hit on the attack.
Yeah. 14 hits. 3.
3 damage.
Oh my god.
This motel.
What are you doing? Okay.
I was tired.
Okay. Moltel's done. Cletus.
Cletus is not gonna. He's not gonna start a fight. He'll just wait. Can't even see them.
Okay. Jackus. Charge. 20.
I'm not even in initiative, I think. I think I didn't do
Don't worry, you're casting the hut. You're casting the hut.
What's it gonna be?
Don't matter, it's dead.
It's dead.
leftover bodies. No
That's a
rations.
really bad thing to eat.
But
How about you take a rest? We'll have a look around the camp.
On their initiative, 3 more swoop down from above, unseen, and swoop down on Jackus and Ice. It's not surprise. Once they get close enough, you hear them, but this is on initiative 10. Let's see. Jackus, one of them attacks you with its beak, and then with its talons. 13 and an 8 misses. Another one attacks Ice with its beak and its talons. Hitting armor class 22 and 23. Doing 15 damage in total. Is that going to banish Ice? Not yet. Okay. The second one goes for you with its beak and then its talons on Ice. The 6 misses you. The 17 hits Ice. Doing 9 damage. Ice gone. I was giving you a animal handling check to land on your feet if Ice gets banished underneath you. Oh, prone. Can't quite hear you again. It's like the start.
Alright.
Oh, that's better. Okay, Velin gets out and pumps magic missiles into one of them. Threads.
I call out to the group. We need to think of self-preservation. Clearly, killing these things is just going to bring more. And I disengage and I run into this tent.
Okay.
Wait, where was I? Here.
Yep.
Okay, I make it. Inside.
Okay. Yep. No worries. All right. You go inside and you see a cowering boy child, reghead child, doing their best to hide, but they're not doing a very good job of it. There's a movement of some skins and things.
Okay, I just kind of
Yep.
ignore him.
Okay. Sharpie?
Jacuz is still next to those things.
He is.
Throw a psychic blade.
Psychic blade, okay.
That will miss, but I'll throw an offhand one.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I get to re-roll that. 20 should hit.
Hey, good one. Oh, because you re-roll natural ones. Yep.
Yep.
How much damage?
24.
Oh, that's enough to kill it. One shot it. And you're offhand?
So, keep them off Ash for a while.
Yep.
We can handle this.
Okay. Moltel.
Seeing Threads run into that tent, I'd like to move there. I'm going to have to take the dash action to get there though.
Okay.
Because my movement speed is half, so
Yep.
I'm there.
Okay. What's your passive perception?
14.
Okay. Yep. So you can tell that there's a child trying to hide and not doing that well in it.
Oh, that's my turn.
Yeah. Cletus.
he's gonna see those two birds and shoot his attacks at it. Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
At the one that's further away from him.
Okay. Disadvantage to those
at
attack rolls.
Disadvantage.
Yeah.
20 to hit.
Is that with disadvantage?
Yes, I rolled a 21
Oh, I see. Yeah, that hits. No problem.
for 11 damage.
All right. You get the second one?
second one
Yep.
will be a 21 to hit
Oh, nice one.
for 5 damage.
Okay, doesn't kill it, but it's very badly injured. Jackus.
So yeah, to threads. I don't think it's preservation. We need to kill them first. It's 5.
Jackus.
Can I drop my lance and take out the hammer?
Yeah, drop it on the ground is doesn't use up anything if you just cast it away, and you can draw your hammer as your free action.
Okay, and then I'll stand up and attack the vulture that was already hit by
Okay.
the blast.
Yep. 24 hits. 8 damage kills it.
Right, and then the second one goes to the other vulture.
Okay. This one was also injured. 18. Add 13 damage is enough to kill it.
Is there any more?
Okay, you pause for a moment, look to the skies, and you hear no vulture cries and don't see anything. Threads, Moltel.
I ask the child what's going on here.
Doesn't speak. Looks to be in a terrible state of shock.
Oh, we may have to preserve him.
I just wrap my arms around the child in a comforting way. Tell him that we mean no harm to him.
He says, "Dead. They're all dead."
You are the last of your tribe.
This is true.
Perhaps we are here to help preserve the line of the tribe. Mortal, what do you think?
I believe so. Could you go tell the others, please?
Oh, fine. I go and tell them that we found potentially the last survivor of the tribe, and that perhaps we should be helping to preserve the line.
Let's check out the other tents first.
Mm.
Shuffle won't do just that.
You hear a howl, not like Ice's howl of lamentation, but one more of fury. And this boy's eyes go wild, and he says, "Isa returns. We must hide." They killed my father. The chieftain, and Isa claims to be the king of the wolf tribe.
We just hide?
Sounds like a plan, Shuffle.
Cletus pulls Ash in.
Okay,
Come this way.
put yourself where you want to be.
Yeah, Jackus, you want to be baked?
Do it.
I'll just stand here in the middle.
Okay.
Oh. Ash, you want to cast your magic hut inside this hut? Double hut.
Sure, yes. I'll do that. And I offer the child my rations as well. Are you hungry?
This one?
Yes.
But it is in the one with threads and Mortal, by the way.
Oh,
If we all hide in here, it's not going to be very good. We're not all tiny children.
got pulled into it, so
Fair enough.
Oh, that's
we're too exhausted to resist.
Okay.
Venus will be here. He's gonna be casting something too.
You hear the howling, so that seems to be circling the camp. And you can hear some cries. They're in an odd language. Anyone with religion can have a check. Or nature. We'll allow nature to be relevant.
How do I roll with disadvantage?
Control.
You hold control.
Yes, control.
Oh boy.
How'd you go? Religion?
9.
Yeah, okay. No, in your state of exhaustion, you can't tell what's being said, but there's definitely some sort of chant going on as well. Okay. Eventually, this enormous resummon ice cast a spell. Okay. Is that a second level spell cast? Yep. Whoa. Whoops. Hang on a sec. I've made him too. There, that's better. Okay, eventually, this character comes stalking between two of the tents, and there's clearly others behind. And they also sort of come to the edges of the clearing. He sort of spits out angrily, "Where's the child? Stand in my way and die." That's to you, Jacos. You're the only one that he can see at this stage. Oh, my connection to the server is disinterrupted. Can anyone hear me? Ah.